After the age of 65, many women begin to experience a feeling of dampness and unpleasant odor in the intimate area, even though they maintain careful hygiene every day. The cause doesn't lie in personal care habits, but mainly in reduced estrogen levels, weakened pelvic floor muscles, slower blood circulation, lack of physical activity, and prolonged stress. These changes are not medical conditions, but they greatly affect confidence and daily comfort. The good news is, with just a few gentle exercises each day, you can naturally and safely improve this condition at home without the need for medication. In today's video, we'll share 5 simple exercises to help your intimate area feel drier, stronger, and more comfortable from within. In many rural villages across South India, where each morning begins with temple bells and a gentle hint of sandalwood in the air, elderly women quietly face a challenge that's hard to speak about. A persistent feeling of dampness, unpleasant odor, and discomfort in the intimate area despite maintaining daily hygiene. It's not an illness, but rather a silent sign of aging as pelvic floor muscles weaken, blood circulation slows, and estrogen levels decline. From the age of 65, many women start to feel hesitant about going out, lose confidence when sitting close to others, and silently carry a sense of unease within their own bodies. But there is one simple, discreet, and highly effective exercise that gynecologists recommend doing daily: the Kegel exercise. At many community health centers in Kerala and Tamil Nadu, female doctors often teach elderly women how to reclaim inner strength through Kegels, a practice of tightening and releasing the pelvic floor muscles, much like the motion of trying to hold in urine. These muscles surround the vagina, bladder, and anus, keeping everything below strong, healthy, and naturally clean. The technique is easy. Simply imagine holding in urine, squeeze those muscles for 5 seconds, then release for 5 seconds. Repeat 10 times, and if possible, do it 3 times a day: morning, noon, and evening. No yoga mat or private space is needed, just mindfulness. You can do it while reading the newspaper, cooking, or listening to the morning radio. After a few weeks of consistency, many women have shared that their intimate area feels lighter, drier, and fresher, even without using any special washes. The transformation doesn't come from outside, but from better blood flow, natural moisture balance, and the gradual reawakening of inner muscles. But Kegel is more than just a physical exercise. It is also a practice of connection between mind and body. For many older women in India, intimate care has long been seen as shameful or unnecessary. Yet, by practicing Kegels every day, they're quietly sending a message of love to themselves. I still deserve to feel clean, strong, and confident at any age. And that is the greatest gift this tiny exercise offers, a gentle reminder that caring for your intimate health isn't for anyone else, but for your own dignity, self-respect, and love for your body. After staying committed to Kegel exercises for some time, many elderly women in India begin to feel a subtle shift deep within their bodies, as if the heaviness in their intimate area has eased, the unpleasant odor has faded, and a quiet sense of confidence is slowly returning. But Kegel is only the beginning. To truly rejuvenate the pelvic region, to keep it strong, clean, and well circulated, the body needs to open up just a bit more. That's where the bridge pose, a gentle yet powerful yoga posture, becomes the perfect next step. In a riverside village in Tamil Nadu, 68-year-old Sushila used to describe her intimate area as feeling as damp as morning dew by late afternoon, even without much physical activity. A doctor at the local health center suggested she try a simple exercise: lie on her back, bend her knees, place her feet flat on the floor, and slowly lift her hips toward the sky, hold for a few seconds, then lower them down. This is the bridge pose, an ancient yoga posture often taught in southern temples as a way to restore energy to the lower belly. Bridge pose isn't just a physical stretch, it revives the slow-moving blood in the pelvic area. When the hips are lifted, the glutes, thighs, and pelvic floor muscles activate together, prompting fresh blood to flow to the vagina, bladder, and uterus. With this improved circulation, the intimate area is nourished better, natural moisture is regulated, and the lingering dampness begins to disappear. The pose also helps relieve lower back pain, a common issue for aging women, and calms the nervous system after a long day. Practicing bridge pose daily, around 10-15 repetitions, slowly and steadily like the gentle rhythm of a Carnatic melody, becomes a way for older women to rebuild the bridge between body and spirit, between aging flesh and a still vibrant will. After 3 weeks of practice, Sushila shared, "I don't need tissues in the afternoon anymore. That part of me finally feels like it can breathe." It's not magic, it's the result of understanding and proper care. From Kegel to bridge pose, each small movement is helping elderly Indian women reconnect with their bodies in the most tender way. And perhaps, in those red brick houses nestled among green paddy fields, the steady breath and gently rising hips are the most beautiful whisper of all. I am still alive, and I am still in love with myself. Not everyone can easily lie down and lift their hips into a bridge pose. Many elderly women, especially in rural areas like Andhra Pradesh or Odisha, struggle with knee pain, backaches, or simply feel that their bodies are no longer as flexible as they once were. But that doesn't mean they have to give up on caring for their intimate health. On the contrary, there is a surprisingly simple exercise that can be done while sitting on a bed or mat, and it brings remarkable benefits to the pelvic region. The butterfly stretch. Lakshmi, a 70-year-old woman living in a small house on the outskirts of Bhubaneswar, once shared how she avoided interacting with neighbors because of the heavy and damp feeling in her intimate area that made her uncomfortable. After a friend from the Jagannath temple suggested trying the butterfly stretch, she began practicing it every morning sitting upright, bringing the soles of her feet together and letting her knees gently fall to the sides like wings unfolding. At first glance, this exercise seems simple, but internally, it awakens the stagnant flow of the pelvic region where blood, energy, and breath often get stuck in older bodies. As the knees open, the hips and vaginal area are released from tightness. Blood begins to flow more freely to the intimate zone. Sweat glands and natural vaginal secretions regulate better, and the feeling of damp discomfort gradually subsides. Interestingly, many women who practice this also report a noticeable reduction in odor without needing fragrant soaps or special washes. The butterfly pose is not just a physical stretch, it's a powerful symbol in Indian culture. A gentle transformation, from closed to open, from heavy to light. When a woman sits in this pose, breathing steadily, eyes closed, she is not only caring for her intimate health, she is opening her heart to her body. After a month of practice, Lakshmi gratefully shared, "I no longer avoid the women's gatherings. I feel clean and light, as if I've left behind years of silent shame." With just a simple mat and a few minutes each day, she rediscovered something precious, the feeling of owning her body and the quiet joy of sitting in the evening breeze, knees swaying gently like butterfly wings on her front porch. For women who've lived through countless festivals and years of raising children, the butterfly stretch is a gift small, yet powerful enough to awaken the softness and radiance that had long been forgotten in their intimate self. Of course, not everyone can sit comfortably in the butterfly pose for long periods. For some women, especially those who have experienced hip or knee pain, or aren't used to sitting upright for extended time, staying seated on the floor can feel uncomfortable. But that doesn't mean there are no other options. In fact, there's one method that is incredibly simple, gentle, and familiar to almost everyone, even those who have never practiced yoga or exercised before. That method is walking. In many Indian villages, walking isn't just a way to get around, it's woven into the rhythm of life. Each morning, elderly women often walk along dusty paths to the market, to the temple, or simply take a few rounds around their yard before the sun gets too warm. Yet few realize that these very steps are a quiet remedy for intimate health. Dr. Anjali from a community health center in Pune once said, "Daily walking isn't just good for the heart and lungs, it directly supports the pelvic region. It activates the lower abdominal muscles, improves blood circulation, and helps the vaginal area stay naturally dry and fresh." Indeed, when older women walk gently in the cool morning air, their pelvic floor muscles engage subtly without fatigue. This steady movement stimulates blood flow, reduces stagnation, and allows the endocrine system to naturally regulate moisture in the intimate area. Beyond physical benefits, walking is also a powerful mental balm. As the legs move, the mind gradually quiets. Worries and stress, which often disrupt hormones and contribute to vaginal odor, begin to melt away with each step. Just 15-20 minutes of walking every morning or evening can leave a woman feeling lighter in body and fresher down below without needing any chemical products at all. Meera, a 72-year-old woman living in an old quarter of Jaipur, once shared, "I started walking each morning around the Hanuman temple just to breathe fresh air. But after a few weeks, I was surprised to notice that the dampness and odor in my intimate area had disappeared. I hadn't changed anything, I just walked every day." And this reminds us that intimate care in old age doesn't have to be complicated or unfamiliar. Sometimes, simply returning to what is most natural, like a quiet walk along a village path, is enough to allow the body to heal itself. And with each step comes a gentle reminder, my body is still very much alive and it deserves to be listened to every single day. When a woman crosses the age of 65, many things within her body begin to shift quietly. Breaths grow shorter, sleep becomes lighter, and the intimate area often feels persistently damp and heavy like the harsh summer winds of Gujarat. After trying exercises like Kegel, bridge pose, butterfly stretch, or gentle walks around the temple courtyard, there remains something deeper that few notice: the breath. And the miracle is, with just a simple adjustment, especially through deep belly breathing, the body can begin to heal itself from within. In a small village near Rishikesh, where the Ganges flows gently at the foot of the mountains, elderly women ascetics begin their mornings not with strenuous movements, but with a very quiet ritual. They sit cross-legged, place their hands on their belly, and breathe. Not the hurried breathing of worry, but slow, deep breaths, allowing the belly to rise on the inhale and fall on the exhale. This simple practice, often associated with meditation, actually holds deep benefits for intimate health in older women. Deep belly breathing activates the parasympathetic nervous system, the part responsible for rest, repair, and healing. When the body relaxes, even age-related hormonal decline, like reduced estrogen, can be more stably regulated. This has a direct effect on the vaginal area, helping reduce dryness, abnormal discharge, and restore natural pH balance, which in turn helps lessen unpleasant odors. What's more, when deep breathing is done regularly for just 5-10 minutes a day, blood flows more freely to the lower abdomen, home to the uterus, bladder, and pelvic floor. This increased circulation relieves the heavy, congested feeling often present in the intimate region. Many women who practice deep breathing consistently say they feel that part of their body becoming lighter, like the early morning breeze, even without using washes or medications. Kamala, 69, from Mysore, once suffered from insomnia and a prolonged sense of damp discomfort in her intimate area. After a friend at an ashram taught her how to breathe with her belly, she began each day practicing before making tea. "It's just sitting still and breathing," she said, "but I feel a warm light running through my lower belly, and the whole day I feel unusually at ease." Deep belly breathing requires nothing more than a quiet place to sit and a heart willing to return to itself. It is how elderly Indian women can reclaim purity in their bodies, not through medicines or cosmetics, but through faith in the breath, the most sacred and the most intimate gift of all. After spending a few minutes each morning breathing deeply and listening to their bodies from within, many older women begin to feel a newfound stillness, like a lake no longer stirred by wind. And in that calm state, the body becomes more receptive to gentle movements. One simple yet deeply beneficial practice for the lower abdomen and intimate area is the knee to chest pose, a classic posture in traditional yoga known as Pavan Muktasana. In the quiet temples of Uttarakhand, it's believed that this pose not only aids digestion but also releases bad winds from the body, a poetic way of describing inner cleansing. But for women over 65, this pose offers an even more practical benefit. It stimulates blood flow in the pelvic region, supports the pelvic floor, and helps relieve feelings of dampness and heaviness in the intimate area. The technique is simple. Lie on a soft, flat surface, gently bring one knee toward the chest and hold it with both hands for 15-30 seconds, then switch sides. Over time, if the body allows, both knees can be drawn in together and held while breathing slowly and deeply. This gentle compression of the lower abdomen enhances blood circulation to the uterus, vagina, and bladder. As a result, the intimate area feels drier, fresher, and lighter, especially after long periods of sitting when discomfort tends to increase. This pose also aids digestion and elimination, two functions closely tied to intimate health but often overlooked. A sluggish digestive system can lead to bloating or constipation, which puts extra pressure on the pelvic floor. The knee to chest pose helps release that tension, creating a sense of openness and ease in the lower belly. Sharvani, a 75-year-old woman from Nashik, once called this posture a morning hug for her belly. "Every morning after breathing, I lie down and hug my knees like I'm holding my grandchild. And strangely, I feel comforted. My intimate area also feels better, no longer damp like before." This practice can be seen as a gentle bridge between mind and body, where a simple act of care offers deep vitality. No tools, no strength, needed only tenderness. And with just 5 minutes a day, older Indian women can rediscover a sense of lightness in their intimate area through the loving embrace of their own body. Once the body has been gently awakened through calming movements in bed like the knee to chest pose, the next step is to carry that energy upward into a standing state. Because the health of the intimate area doesn't come only from still, lying down postures. It also needs to be nourished through rhythmic, mindful movement. One of the simplest and most accessible practices is marching in place. In many old cities like Madurai or Bikaner, where elderly women live in compact homes without much space to move around, this exercise becomes an ideal solution. No mat, no park, just a small corner of the floor. You stand tall, relax your arms, and slowly lift one knee toward the belly, then lower it and switch sides. These seemingly simple motions directly engage the lower abdomen, pelvic floor, and reproductive organs areas that often experience stagnation in older women. Elderly people tend to sit for long periods and move less, which slows circulation in the intimate region. The result? Dampness, mild odor, and a feeling of heaviness or discomfort even with careful hygiene. But when you lift your knees daily, the pelvic floor muscles are gently activated, blood flow increases, and the intimate area starts to breathe again. Many women report that after just a week, they feel noticeably drier and lighter, like a cool breeze has moved through from within. Additionally, marching in place stimulates the excretory system and sweat glands, both essential for the natural cleansing of the intimate area. No more lingering dampness after sitting, no more worry about body odor in close contact with others. And most importantly, this exercise doesn't cause fatigue because it moves at your own pace, unforced and gentle. Kusum, 73, from Lucknow, shared, "I do this every morning in my living room. As I lift my knees, I imagine stepping over heaviness. And truly after some time, not only does my intimate area feel more at ease, but my mind feels lighter too." Marching in place is not just physical movement. It's a small, powerful gesture that reminds women they are still in control of themselves, no matter their age. Just a few minutes each day, right within the walls of a familiar room, and your body begins to revive from the lower belly to the spirit. And your intimate self, long neglected, will be welcomed back with a sense of freshness and natural ease. After those small, mindful steps around the house, once the body has warmed up and blood is flowing freely through the lower abdomen, the next essential step is not more movement, but a deliberate return to stillness. This allows the newly awakened energy to sink deep into every muscle and cell. And in the journey of natural intimate care after the age of 65, nothing is gentler or safer than child's pose. In ancient monasteries of Ladakh or the earthen homes of Rajasthan, elderly women practitioners often begin and end their sessions with this pose. They call it the posture of loving surrender, where the body bows to the earth not out of weakness, but out of acceptance and self-embrace. And from this humble position, many quiet miracles occur, including deep and lasting improvements in intimate health. The practice is simple. Kneel on the floor with knees hip-width apart, big toes touching behind you. Gently fold forward until your forehead touches the floor or as close as comfortable, with arms extended forward or resting alongside your body. In this posture, the lower abdomen completely relaxes. Pressure on the pelvic area is released, and blood flows effortlessly to nourish the vaginal tissues, uterus, and rectum. The intimate area becomes softer, cleaner, and less prone to odor without the need for medication or cleansing products. Unlike activating exercises, child's pose offers restoration. It is the quiet moment when the body absorbs all that has been awakened by previous movements, especially after standing poses like marching in place. For older women, it's also a way to ease lower abdominal tightness, calm the nervous system, and reduce stress, a key factor behind hormonal imbalances and intimate odor. Radha, 74, from a rural village near Varanasi, shared, "Each night, I lie in this pose before bed, not to ask for anything, just to let my body know I'm still listening." After a month, she noticed the odor had faded, and the inner heat she used to feel had softened. This change didn't come from pills, it came from a return to herself, both physically and emotionally. Child's pose doesn't require strength or flexibility. It only asks for a willingness to rest with kindness toward oneself. And perhaps, among all the exercises for women over 65, this is the gentlest lesson, that sometimes It is not movement but conscious surrender that makes the intimate area healthy, dry, and truly refreshed from the inside out. In Indian culture, caring for the body has never been merely a physical act. From ancient times, it has been believed that the body is the temple of the soul. Sharir hai mandir hai, a sacred space where every movement, every breath carries spiritual energy. Thus, when a woman over 65 chooses to spend a few moments each day practicing gentle exercises like Kegel, bridge pose, deep belly breathing, or child's pose, it is not simply a workout, it is a quiet ritual of returning to herself. The overall effects of these practices may not be as immediate or dramatic as medication or medical intervention, but they are deep, enduring, and in harmony with the natural rhythms of a woman's body. First and foremost, these exercises are designed to strengthen the pelvic floor, the group of muscles that supports the vagina, bladder, and uterus. As these muscles weaken with age, women may face issues like urine leakage, uterine prolapse, persistent dampness, or unpleasant odors despite meticulous hygiene. Daily practice gently restores firmness, flexibility, and natural moisture regulation in the intimate area without the need for chemical products. Secondly, movements like marching in place, walking, and knee-to-chest pose enhance blood circulation to the lower abdomen, delivering oxygen and nutrients to nourish vaginal tissues. The intimate area, often dry and less elastic after menopause, becomes softer, more balanced in pH, and less prone to infection. This is care from the roots, not forceful, but nourishing. Perhaps most importantly, these practices help reduce stress and support hormonal balance. In Indian tradition, emotions and the body are seen as reflections of each other. When a woman feels overwhelmed with anxiety, tension, or insomnia, her body often responds through the intimate area. Unusual discharge, strange odors, or a constant internal heat. Gentle exercises paired with slow breathing calm the nervous system, bring deeper sleep, and restore inner peace, allowing the body to rebalance hormones naturally. What makes this entire process so powerful is that it is never forced. A woman can practice in her courtyard, on a mat under a mango tree, or in a small room bathed in morning light filtering through the curtains. Every gesture, whether lifting a knee or bowing to the earth, becomes a quiet whisper to her body. I am here. I am still listening to you. And it is this consistency, this small kindness, that keeps the intimate area and the whole self clean, strong, and dignified, like a lamp still burning steadily within the ancient temple of one's own being. In the southern edge of India, where emerald green canals weave through rows of wooden houses with red-tiled roofs, there lives a 69-year-old woman named Leela in a small home near the Kochi fish market. Her husband passed away long ago, and her children are now married and living in the cities. Her days pass quietly, mornings spent buying vegetables at the floating market, sunny afternoons listening to the Bhagavad Gita, and evenings under the old mango tree, knitting scarves for her grandchildren. Yet, something quietly troubled her, an intimate odor. Though she kept clean daily, even used neem leaf water as her mother had taught her since childhood, there was still a lingering dampness and heaviness that crept in by evening. It made her self-conscious, hesitant to join women's gatherings, and at times, she even turned away from the warm hugs of her grandchildren. One morning at the market, she happened to run into an old school friend, Savita, a retired nurse. After a few cheerful exchanges, Leela gently brought up her discomfort, her voice lowering with shyness. Savita smiled and said, "Leela, that part of us is like a rooftop sometimes. It just needs to breathe." Oh. Savita gave her 3 simple suggestions. Drink ginger turmeric tea every morning, do the butterfly pose for a few minutes daily, And if possible, try the child's pose to let the pelvic area truly rest. Leela began following the advice, with no high expectations, just a quiet experiment. But within 2 weeks, she noticed a shift. The heaviness in her lower belly at day's end was gone. Her intimate area felt drier, fresher, and the strange odor had faded. She felt lighter, not just physically, but mentally too. From then on, every afternoon, she would lay a soft cloth beneath the mango tree, do a few gentle knee hugs, take deep breaths, and finish with child's pose folded like a child in its mother's lap. One evening, after dinner, she confidently joined the women's gathering in the village, wearing a dusty pink sari. Her friends said she looked younger, more radiant. She simply smiled, thinking to herself, "I just learned how to breathe with myself again." Leela's story, like that of many older women, is a beautiful reminder that intimate health after 65 doesn't require anything complicated or expensive. Just a deep breath, a gentle movement, or a warm cup of tea each morning can awaken cleanliness, freshness, and inner confidence. This is not merely a journey of caring for the body, it is a journey of returning to self-love, complete, tender, and full of dignity.